All right, we're here at the Clorox Show. This is episode number 5, and boy, do I have an episode for you. You people, you lovely, beautiful people, you of all shapes and all sizes. We accept them all. We'll take them all. We would prefer an audience that wasn't made up of pedophiles, rapists, terrorists, scam call center people. Let's see, any other groups, but potential any ethnic groups? I don't know. The night is young, so there's still time to adapt to the audience that I don't have. And who knows, maybe one day in the future my audience will be primarily made up of people in India whose jobs are scamming old people in the United States. And if that's my audience, then I will also adapt. Over time, I will have an Indian flag in my background. I may or may not put a little jewel in between my eyes, and I may or may not start talking like this, because if this is what it takes to take on my audience, then this is what it is going to take. I am going to be number one content creator in all of India, and everybody in the United States is going to go, what is he doing? What is he doing? He is American. Why is he doing content in India? And then I would go, because the people in India accept me. They don't make fun of me for maybe potentially sometimes forgetting to put on deodorant. They go, this is our brother. Accept him. Love the brother for who he is. It does not matter. Listen, here in India, we may or may not use utensils. And personally speaking, out of the 1,275,362 gods that we have, around 99.7% of them are anti-utensil. So what does that mean? It means no. We do not use just our hands to eat our food. We also use just our mouths and our teeth, because that is the way things are done in Brandon and the Clorox. And the king of the Clorox is the one who's spreading our wisdom throughout all of America. So that's how I'll become the number one content creator in India. And in about a year from now or 2 years from now, that is how I will talk all the time. And then they'll go, why is he doing a voice? Why is he being silly? Why is he, pretending to be Indian? And then my true followers who are in India will say, he's not pretending. This is how he talks now. And you just have to get used to it. Fuck off, bitch. Suck a dick. Ah! And then that's how that will go down. So a lot of things I wanted to talk about today. The first thing I wanted to talk about was something that happened about, a couple weeks ago. So I'm in the bathroom, just finished taking a shit, and there's this guy who walks in, and I run into him, and I'm like, hey dude, do you work on this floor? I always run into you up here. And he goes, no, I work on the floor beneath. I'm like, oh, okay, well, why are you usually up here? I feel like I only ever see you in the bathroom. And he goes, well, actually it's because there aren't a whole lot of guys on your floor, so the bathroom is usually pretty clean, and there's usually nobody in it. And I go, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then later on in the day, I run into him. It's around like 4:30. I'm leaving early. I get in the elevator. He gets in the elevator. I guess he had just taken a shit, because why else would he be on our floor? We've established this at this point. He walks in the elevator. I say, the whole stereotypical corporate line. Hey, how's it going? Good. How are you? Good. How was your day? Good. How was your day? Good. Almost 5 o'clock. Going home, right? Yeah. Almost 5 o'clock. Yeah. And so, as we're having this meaningless conversation, as my existential dread is bleeding out of my body, I notice there's a little something on his shirt. There's a little something on his shirt. And you go, hey, well, it's 4:30. It can't be food, right? Because lunchtime was a while ago. And mind you, we're allowed to eat lunch at different times and whatnot. Sometimes I'll usually have lunch at 1 o'clock or maybe 2 o'clock. And if some shit happens, maybe I'll have lunch at 3, But never am I getting out of lunch at 4:30. But that's what time I saw him. And I saw something on his shirt. And let me tell you, if it was around 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, you would think, hey, that's probably some food on his shirt. I should tell him, because I'm a good citizen. My parents raised a good young man, and I would have told anybody. I would have said, hey, you got a little smudge there. You got a little something on your shirt. And then they go, okay, good, and they flick it off. But here's the fucking thing. Multiple things are going on here that I don't like. First of all, it's more than just a little crust on the shirt. It's like if you took a smudge of paint and put it on your shirt. And so I thought, well, that doesn't really look like food. And then my brain started doing the calculations and I realized it's 4:30, so it can't be food. He just got out of the bathroom. It's not even just, let's not, I can't even call it a stain. There is some sort of liquid matter that is on his shirt that looks like a drop of paint. And that thing on his shirt, well, it wasn't food color. It looked like the color of it was leaning more towards brown. And then I realized, wait a second, I can't tell this person, hey, it looks like you got a little food on your shirt, because I realized if my calculations are correct, you have shit on your shirt. I don't know how. I don't know how the fuck that would even be possible, but you have shit on your shirt. And I had a decision to make. I thought I could either look at him and go, hey, you got a little something on your shirt. But then very quickly would his brain calculate, look down and go, oh, what the fuck? Thanks, man. And then he'd wipe it off. But then on the inside, he knows, well, that has to be my shit. How the fuck his shit got on the front of his shirt, in the middle of his tits? You know, only some things in this world God knows. Like, is Epstein alive? Only God and probably a few people in, you know, our government know the answer to that. Is Michael Jackson alive? I don't know. Is Bill Cosby? Are they all alive somewhere in fucking Tijuana, you know, doing the nasty with some, you know. Anyway, so only God knows if this was shit on his shirt. Only him and God know that it was shit on his shirt. So I thought to myself, all right, I could bring this up to this guy and be a good guy and go, hey, you got something on your shirt. But then he's gonna know that I know that he had shit on his shirt. And, you know, maybe any other situation in public or whatever it is, I would have told somebody. But in this situation, you think to yourself, well, I see this person all the time, and this guy literally only comes up to our floor to use our restroom, which I'm okay with because I'm the son of God. I am a man of Jesus. I go, our toilets are your toilets. And so it's fine. Use the toilets. Good for you. I would do the same thing. It's fucking great. There aren't a lot of guys on our floor, but that's besides the point. But now you're going to run into me and you're going to go, oh, remember that one time this guy saw my shit on my shirt. And so what did I do? I didn't tell him. I did not tell him because I don't think it matters how confident of a person you are in this world. If someone catches you with a tablespoon's worth of shit on your shirt, you will forever look at them and feel embarrassed and go, damn, that person will never see me the same. They will only ever see me through the eyes of the time where God only knows how I took a shit in their bathroom and I got shit on my shirt. So I did the right thing and I didn't tell him, because I want him to continue to come up and use the bathroom. And perhaps he saw me look at it because, you know, I couldn't stop staring at his fucking shirt while we were in our conversation because there's shit on his shirt. So in America, you know, you try to do the right thing, but there are some moments in life where you're faced with a very important decision. Like if you run into somebody in the elevator that uses your restroom and they clearly have shit on their shirt, do you tell them? Put that on a pop quiz in elementary school and let's see how the kids do. Because I think we'd get some skewed results. I think a lot of people would say you tell them, you don't tell them. Maybe a lot of people would think I'd tell them. It's one of those things where it's like you'd have to be there. You'd have to be the one to face the guy in the elevator and look at him in his fucking eyes and see that there is shit on his shirt and you don't know whether or not to tell him. So that's a situation I was in. That's one of those things that they don't teach you in school. They don't go, children, pay attention. Today's lesson is in what to do when you run into somebody who either has A, toilet paper coming off of them, or maybe it is attached to their shoe. B, they have a little bit of food on their mouth. Or C, literal feces on their shirt. There is no lesson for that. Instead, they made us read the books about the stuff that I never remembered. Probably be more likely than not because I never really read the books, because I just spark noted them. And if you don't know what spark notes is, it was a website where you could just look up the book and go chapter by chapter and the chapters, and it would break it down into 5 bullet point summaries about what that chapter was about. So when you'd go into Miss Villalobos' class on a Tuesday, you'd pass her quiz because the questions aren't that hard. If you just understood what happened in the entire thing and you use a little bit of reasoning and you get an 80 on the quiz and you go to the next grade. And so that's what happened. So, I've seen the guy in the bathroom a few times, so I think we're good. I think that he at no point looked in the mirror and was like, oh no, that guy saw me with shit on my shirt. I don't know. Or maybe he did. Maybe that's such a confident man where he goes, yeah, I got shit on my shirt. Big fucking deal. This is America. Suck a dick. I'm going to keep using the bathroom. So that happened. And it's one of those things where just like life puts you in certain predicaments and you don't really know, how to react or what to do. And in that situation, I decided not to tell him. So be funny if I just ended the episode there. Like, that's the whole episode, just 10 minutes of me talking about that guy having. And here's the thing. I like certainty. I don't like guessing. I don't like fondling with the uncertainties of life. I like to know. And it's one of these things where I think to myself, what if it wasn't shit that was on his shirt? But then I really fucking thought about it. In that 20 seconds that we were in the elevator, I really thought. I had to calculate in my brain. Do I tell him? Wait a second, that could be shit. Should I tell him if there's shit on his fucking shirt? Like, I thought about it, man. I was like, how? Could it be shit? Maybe it's not shit. And I tried to use my fucking brain to the best ability that I could. And I could not, think it was anything other than shit. It had to be shit. So it's one of those things, So in other words, I'm privileged. I've heard a lot of issues in my life, a lot of problems, a lot of bullshit that I've had to deal with, and I'm glad that is lower on the spectrum of moral quandaries and philosophical dilemmas. I don't know what Socrates or Plato or fucking Jordan Peterson would have done in that situation, but let me tell you, what I did is not tell him. In hindsight, maybe you bite the bullet. Maybe you go back and go, hey, bud, you got a little something on your shirt. And he goes, oh, thanks, man. Thanks, man. Looks like I just got a little shit on my shirt. Thanks, man. Looks like I just got a little shit on my shirt. Thanks for looking out for me. Oh, dude, I got you. Run into you in the bathroom tomorrow? Yeah, man. God bless. At that point, you go, this guy is obviously the Son of God and is actually a descendant of God himself and is Jesus. Because in order for you really not to care that much of whether or not you have shit on your shirt, you either have to be a fucking psychopath or the Son of God. And I like to be a glass half full man. So maybe he is the next coming of the Son of God. And that's what happened. So anyway, there's no easy transition into this next story that we're going to talk about, which isn't about my life, but it's about something that apparently was happening on the internets. On the internets, we found this thing. And on the internets, you're going to see this thing, and I'm going to pull it out right now. So in case you're listening, we got ourselves a video where the title of the video is Mysterious Hooded Figure Spotted Wandering Rhode Island Streets. Now, first of all, before you even start the video, this guy, oh wait, you can't even see the title. My bad. I'm a professional. I am a professional podcaster, ladies and gentlemen. Look at how I move my face out of the way. Wow. Who needs to hire a producer when you can do it yourself? So check this out. First of all, let's just look at this. And in case you're listening, which I doubt anybody's listening, and I'm just talking to myself at this point, and that's okay, and that's how we're gonna keep fucking going. We got this guy, and he's clearly wearing a hood in a neighborhood. And the unbelievable thing that I'm seeing here, mysterious hooded figure spotted wandering Rhode Island streets. Now, let's watch a little bit of the video and talk about why that is a fucking crazy title for this video. So, we have a guy walking around, you know, a mysterious hooded figure spotted wandering Rhode Island streets. Cars following him because, you know, you're just minding your own business coming home from a fucking massage parlor that definitely didn't, you know, finish you off. And you're driving home to your wife and kids. And as you're driving home, you know, and your wife's like, honey, why were you home so late? And you get to show her this video where you go, there's a guy who's walking around in a goddamn KKK outfit, sweetheart. I wasn't getting sucked off by Lin Lin. I was driving around and there was a fucking dude with a KKK costume just hitting the streets, taking a stroll, getting his mind off all the lynching. So the reason I think that this is a crazy fucking title is because of this. Again, the title is Mysterious Hooded Figure Spotted Wandering Rhode Island Streets. Now, who wrote the title? The leader of the KKK? What are you talking about? Mysterious hooded figure. Bro, no. The title should be Guy clearly in Ku Klux Klan wandering streets. Not mysterious hooded figure. What? Mysterious hooded figure. Oh, you mean Klansmen going door to door like a KKK Mormon and is trying to convert people and go, instead of, have you heard about Jesus Christ? You go, have you heard about white supremacy? Can I come in for a cup of tea? That's what this guy's doing. So it's unbelievable to me that, like, I'm not a fucking political guy. I mean, not that should even be political in any way, but it's, I mean, mysterious hooded figure. Mysterious hooded. What else could he be? What do you mean, mysterious hooded figure? What is he, a fucking goblin? Is he one of the bad guys from Scooby-Doo? No, he's a member of the KKK. Mysterious hooded figure. What are you talking about, mysterious hooded figure? That guy is out there looking for some brothers for some trouble. And, you know, so I didn't know how long I was going to talk about this. It's really, you know, it's just one of those things where you see stuff like this, and we're at the point in this world where it's hard to even know. Like, what the fuck is, like, what is, like, how do you know that something isn't just some fucking setup to try and get some attention, and this guy clearly put on an outfit, and then we're going to go to some link, and it's going to be to some Patreon or something, and this guy's actually a black guy wearing a KKK hood, and it's just to get attention for a podcast, and, you know, it's fucking, maybe it's Kanye West. Who knows? Maybe it's Kanye West promoting his brand new album, Bully, where, you know, to get a little attention, like how Drake decided to, I don't know, fucking take a part of Antarctica and put it in the middle of fucking Atlanta or wherever it was and go, if you burn the ice, you get to find out when I'm releasing my album. So whatever it takes, I guess, at this point for people to go viral and get attention. I don't know what I would do. I don't know. Maybe I could fucking save up my shit for about a month and just cover myself in shit and walk around. I mean, if we're just doing dumb fucking ideas these days, that one might not be that crazy. And then they go, oh, it's the shit guy. And then someone would go, and then what I could do is that on my chest in shit, I could fucking draw out, you know, a QR code so that you scan it and it takes you to my podcast. and the link at the title of the link, the link will take you somewhere, and it'll take you to a YouTube video, and the YouTube video will go, "You're a dumb fuck, watch my podcast." So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe, I've always wondered, how do I get on Jimmy Fallon? How do I get on Jimmy Kimmel? How the fuck do I do carpool karaoke, with James Gordon or whatever his name is, because I want to sing Paul McCartney songs and Justin Bieber songs. And in order to do that, I need to cover myself in human feces, put a QR code on my stomach, have people send it around so that I can go viral. Because Logan Paul and Jake Paul and all the other Pauls have been way too relevant for too long, and I'm ready to be the WWE champion. And I'm not fucking around anymore. So, anyway, I think that's what I might do. Because, at this point, whatever it takes, I guess. But also, if this isn't some sort of scheme, if this isn't some sort of scheme to go viral, and this guy's, God only knows, just, I guess, what? In what other world is it not a fucking scheme? This guy's walking around with the KKK outfit. I don't know. Like, if I were to open my fucking front door and a guy is there with the KKK outfit on, I'm going, all right, where are the cameras? This, I get what you guys are trying to do. You're trying to be funny. I'm just trying to, like, watch YouTube and just enjoy my night. I got off of work and I just want to relax. I get you guys are trying to be funny. I'm not the guy for that. You guys go somewhere else. Go do your own thing. But I just can't imagine someone, like, why? Maybe, I'm sorry if I'm spending too much time on this, because it's just, maybe I'm trying to digest and understand something that is just ununderstandable, because it's fucking retarded. Okay, let's play a game. Enter the cue music. Called Let's Be Objective. Or let's try to be let's play devil's advocate. So let's see. If we were to be the fucking devil's advocate here, let's try and understand. Okay, so let's say, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, I'm fucking screaming the whole time. Let's say that it's not a scheme. Let's say that this guy is not trying to get attention and build up his OnlyFans. Let's say that he is, well, then that's the part we got to figure out. If he's not trying to scheme or go viral, why are you walking around Rhode Island with a KKK outfit? And second question, please. Why is the title Mysterious Hooded Figure Spotted Wandering Rhode Island Streets? Who wrote the title? It's one of those things where I'm trying to understand, man. You look up at the sky, you go, the sky's blue, and you try and figure out why it's blue. You look at this video, and you go, why the fuck is he wearing a KKK outfit around the streets? Secondly, why the fuck is the title of the article, Guy in KKK Outfit Wanders the Streets? So, we live in an insane world, and this is just one of those things. So, with that being said, speaking of racism, we have this gentleman, this fucking freak of nature, who recently broke the world record for running a marathon. Which, I guess, I don't run marathons, dude. I don't know how much money you'd have to pay me to run more than 2 miles, because I don't even think I'd be able to do that. So, let alone, I don't know what a marathon is. It's irrelevant, but we all know it's a long fucking distance. So, Usain Bolt, number 2 here, ran a sub 2 marathon, meaning he ran a marathon in under 2 hours, which nobody has ever done. Now, I'm gonna need a soundboard one day, with multiple things, because this next segment is called "Not to Be Racist." So we gotta write that down. So far we have Devil's Advocate, and then we have I'm not to be racist. Okay, but so first of all, I'm not racist. Second of all, This is fucking crazy that this guy did this. I mean, I don't know anything because I don't run and I hate running, and running is equivalent to eating fucking nails to me, which is overly exaggerated, and I understand that, but I'm trying to make the point that I fucking hate running. So, this guy is clearly a fucking superhuman, badass, and he could outrun anybody with any bows and arrows. And, you know, if he fucking wounded a deer or whatever, he'd fucking track that deer down to the edge of earth and he'd fuck that guy up and finish him. So that's amazing for this guy. Now, again, I saw this article and I heard about this a few days ago. And again, not to be racist. Not to be racist. I'm going to say it one more fucking time. Not to be racist. But can we all agree at this point that people of certain races, of certain origins, whose skin color happens to be different, meaning generally darker, can we all agree that when it comes to certain sports, like running, they're built different? Right? Now, I'm not trying to say, like, this is a good stereotype. This is like when you go, Asians are good at math. Oh, fucking call me. Sorry for the stereotypical compliment, you fucking ting-ting. Ting. I'm not trying to be racist. Now, what I'm trying to say here is that when you got these dudes breaking fucking records like this, you know, you gotta understand, like, there's a reason why we've separated women and men in almost fucking everything. Even in the things that don't require, bodily, you know, Superman-like characteristics. Like, we have apparently separate tournaments for men and women for chess. Now, you would think to yourself, why? And you go, well, let's not talk about that because we don't want to upset them, but we know why. Now, the thing is, with this gentleman here, who's a fucking Flash, the fucking Godspeed man himself. Now, maybe it might be time to go, all right, we've got different groups for running now. We've got the female group. We've got the male group. Except maybe we create a separate category for, you know, black people. Because at this point, they're killing us. Like, at what point do you go, okay. There's women, there's men, and then there's Kenyans. Because the Kenyans are obviously built different. Or maybe they're not. But, you know, again, I'm just talking shit. Relax. I'm joking. I mean, I'm not joking. I'm like kind of joking. But also, you know, I don't think they should really be separated. But also, you're picking up what I'm putting down here. I mean, you get to a certain point where you go, all right, like, these dudes are fucking killing it. Which is fucking awesome for them. Now, I'm joking around here, but my first thought was, maybe you bring back segregation for certain sports. And not because we don't want to be racing against them colored folk. No, you go, they're fucking murdering us. They're so much better. We need to be in a weaker category because they're different. So, you know, it's just, I don't know, man. Because it's hard for me I don't run. Again, not to be racist, but also, call me crazy. But I don't think that's like the craziest of takes at this point. I don't know, man. Like, and then there's also apparently there's this controversy that it's like, oh, was it the shoes? Like he had on these new Adidas shoes. Dude, fuck you. Like now, like I think saying that is more racist than what I just said. Because they're going, maybe this maybe this goddamn brother didn't actually, maybe he's not that fast. Maybe it's the fucking shoes. Hey, dude, no. Are you the same person who wrote the article about the strange, mysterious hooded man walking through Rhode Island? Are you guys sisters or brothers or something? Because give the dude his credit. He's a fucking superhero. And it's funny too because like if I had a popular podcast, all I would all be taken out of context, and it wouldn't talk about the fact that I'm calling him a fucking superhero, and it would only go to the part where I say maybe we should have different categories for races. And I go, dude, I'm fucking. Who's gonna be mad at that? Fucking white ladies? Suck a dick, bitch. Fuck you. Cancel me. Oh, you can't. I don't got no sponsors, bitch. So, yeah. So, or call me an incel. I guess I'm an incel. He just sits in front of his camera and he just talks to himself, and he just fucking, he just talks to himself, and he just he says racist shit, and it's just absolutely absurd. Sorry, I have something in my eyelashes. I can't help but get eyelash extensions because I want people to know how fucking long my eyelashes are, because maybe people will fucking sleep with me because no one fucking loves me. So, all right, relax, Sarah. Is Sarah the new Karen? I don't know. I'm just joking. I thought Karen was too stereotypical. I don't know any Karens, to be honest with you. And that's probably because at this point they've all changed their names legally because, you know, if your name is Karen, that's rough. If your name is Karen and you're blonde, double rough. Like if you're Karen and you're a hot brunette, hey, what's going on, Karen? Damn, this is my beautiful girl. Her name is Karen. And they go, damn, dude, she's beautiful. And I go, I know, she's fucking beautiful. But if she was blonde and you go, this is Karen, they go, oh, nice to meet you, Karen. So we were thinking of going on a double date and going to Applebee's, but we just don't want there to be any issues with management. So we're thinking of just staying in. And then she goes, "Oh, well, that's fine. I mean, are you talking about are you talking about the Applebee's near the Walgreens?" And then you go, "Yeah." And she goes, "Yeah. I was banned from that one 3 years ago." And you go, "Oh, okay, good call. Well, that's why we're staying in and we're making pizza. And also, don't ever, you're not invited again." And she goes, "Well, I didn't do anything." And you go, "Well, you're clearly a fucking problem, and you probably are way too good at opening up a plan B, and you're a whore. So let's just stick with that because you're the type of girl to just scream bloody murder when you stub your toe, and we don't need that energy around us." So with that being said, let's talk about something a little lighter. A little lighter. So, let's talk about it. 3 Palestinians killed, 10 injured in Israeli attacks. And sorry, that wasn't a laugh. That was a cough. I swear on my life. 3 Palestinians killed. Not that I'm laughing. All right, that sounds bad. Fuck you. I hate this world. Everything is taken out of context. Nobody can take a fucking joke. Everybody's got a fucking wrench up their ass, and everybody's taking life so seriously when we're all gonna fucking die. So anyway, sorry, just had to get that out real quick. That was a little tism moment, as you call it. 3 Palestinians killed. All right, let me read that like a sports broadcaster. 3 Palestinians killed, 10 injured in Israeli attacks in Gaza as ceasefire violations continue. That sounds more like hey Peter, 3 Palestinians were killed, 10 injured.
Oh, Peter. Peter, did you hear that 3 Palestinians were killed and 10 injured? Homie, 3 Palestinians were killed and 10 injured in Israeli attacks in Gaza.
Oh man, we're all gonna die one day, and it is what it is, and it's either slowly approaching or it'll be there soon. Anyway, 3 Palestinians killed, 10 injured in Israeli attacks in Gaza. Everyone's favorite place as ceasefire violations continue. So let's give it a gander. Gaza authorities report 377 ceasefire violations in April, limited aid entry. 377 ceasefire violations. I wonder what that like entails. Like if I'm in Gaza and I'm an Israeli and I go up to a Gazan and I'm like, use the bitch. Do they go, that's a ceasefire violation? Anyway, okay. 3 Palestinians were killed and 10 injured Thursday. 3 Palestinians were killed. Well, that's not fun. And 10 injured Thursday in new Israeli attacks in the Gaza Strip. As is also the Gaza Strip is an amazing name for a Muslim porn star. As Israel continued daily violations of a ceasefire in place since October, blah blah blah, the Palestinians were killed in an Israeli airstrike targeting an animal-drawn cart near the Kuwait roundabout in the Zituan neighborhood in South. Dude, you hear how perfectly I pronounce Zituan? You would think I was Gazan. The bodies of the victims and a critically injured person were taken to Saria Field Hospital. Then I could not do a Muslim accent to save my life. I don't know how they talk. That's my impression. Please don't shoot me. Sources said 2 Palestinians were wounded after being targeted by a quadcopter drone. Now that is apparently a thing. Let's check out what the fuck is a quadcopter drone? Oh, okay. Well, now I feel dumb. Quadcopter drone in area. All right. So let's get to the okay. According to Gaza government media office, the Israeli army has committed 377 violations of the ceasefire agreement during April. What is a ceasefire violation? Let's give that a goog. You can't give anything a goog, man, because here's the thing. You don't know what's truth. What is a fucking ceasefire violation? A deliberate or accidental breach of an agreed upon temporary halt to armed hostilities by okay, I can't read, and that's okay. A ceasefire violation is a deliberate or accidental breach of an agreed upon temporary halt to armed hostilities by any party involved in a conflict. It undermines peace efforts and ranges from isolated gunfire to major attacks, signaling a breakdown in the truce. Okay, so in other words, Israel's like, yeah, that ceasefire, not happening. Bomb, bah! So, you know, a lot of fun there. So, you know, in case you were planning on having your honeymoon in Gaza, you might want to reschedule. Unless, you know, for some reason at your wedding, you couldn't afford fireworks. And in that case, you could go to Gaza and at nighttime, you could close your eyes and pretend that you're hearing fireworks instead of the lives of many people being absolutely murdered. Now, I'm not taking a fucking side here. I don't know shit, dude. And I'm not going to get into this whole conversation about my perspective on how fucking you don't know what's real. You don't know the intricacies. There's bias on every fucking side. You're not there. People say this thing happened or this thing happened on each side and you don't know what the fuck is going on. So the last thing that I'm going to do is take a side and go, I'm pro Gaza or I'm pro Israel. I'm not pro fucking anything. And if you have a problem with me not being pro anything, you could definitely find a better podcast where someone takes a hard side, because I don't know. I don't live in fucking Gaza. I don't live in Israel. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I go to my job, I do my fucking thing, I come home, I eat food, and I do this fucking podcast, and I take a shower, and then I fuck off right to bed, and I rinse and repeat every fucking day. Okay? I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to look into the fucking thing because I'm going to get a bunch of news articles written by biased people. I don't know what's propaganda. Probably 90% of whatever the fuck we read is propaganda on any side. So the last thing that I'm going to do is read some biased bullshit that's probably propagandic, trying to get me to believe whatever it is that they're telling me so that I can form an emotional opinion about something I know fucking nothing about, and then come on here and go, man, I'm taking a stand, man. I'm taking a fucking stand against this. Dude, maybe call me fucking crazy, and this is honestly kind of a controversial opinion, but unless it's affecting me in my life and I actually understand it, where it's actually affecting me, then I'm not going to have an opinion. I'm sorry. I got to at least have a fucking 80% confidence that whatever I'm reading or understanding is truth. And with all this shit going on in the world, dude, who fucking knows? It could be 20% truth. It could be 10% truth. It could be 5% truth. The whole point is that I'm not a politician. I'm not a diplomat. I'm a normal, average fucking dude. And I'm not going to take a stand or have an opinion about some shit that I don't understand at all. If you think that's crazy, you can fuck right off and go somewhere else. And Godspeed, and you have every right to, but don't come to me and say, you need to think this, you need to think that, you need to take a stand against this or that. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. You're asking me to form an opinion about something that I don't understand, that I don't care to understand, because the thing is, I'm not going to understand it. Because unless there is an AI God that is able to give me the fucking truth and give me the rundown of what's really going on, I'm not going to believe it. Because we have reporters out in Rhode Island saying that there's a mysterious hooded guy walking around, when in reality, it's obviously a dude in the Ku Klux Klan outfit. So, forgive me as I have a little bit of water. A little bit of my privileged water. And people think, oh, I'm seeking the truth. That's why I'm taking a stand. I'm seeking the truth. Are you really seeking the truth? Like, how much time have you really spent into looking into whatever it is that you're fucking complaining about and taking a stand about? Like, really? And then you're going to come to me and say, how could you not feel this way? Because I try not to be biased and believe every fucking thing I read and consume. I don't just go on TikTok and send people articles and go, it's crazy what they're doing. Hey, that was AI. Can you not tell by the person with 3 arms? They go, no, that's the Israel radiation. And then you go, oh, you're retarded. That's fine. But don't tell me that I need to believe your retardation. So anyway, in lighter news, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are getting married in Gaza. I'm kidding, obviously. I shouldn't even have to say I'm kidding. Like, if you don't fucking get it, dude, if you don't get what the fuck we're doing here, I don't know what to tell you, man. If you don't understand what I'm doing here, you don't understand what I'm saying, or whether I'm joking or not, you know, you can go ahead and take a train to a different podcast, because I'm not entertaining it. So let's talk about the Swifty wedding. Wedding date and theme. Rumors suggest a potential June 13th. Oh, dude, it's right around the corner. June 13th, 2026 date, incorporating Taylor's lucky number. Wow. I didn't know Taylor Swift had a lucky number. Also, there's a boy band that's coming to my fucking town within the next few months called BTS. And I gotta be honest with y'all, I don't know a single song by BTS. And when I had first heard about BTS, I went, weren't they the ones that created Gangnam Style? And they go, no. And I go, so then what are they? The One Direction with more slanted eyes? And then they go, no, that's racist. And I go, I'm just making a comparison. Fuck you. So anyway, the Swifty theme, the Swifty wedding is going to be 1950s inspired. Ooh, so does that mean they're going to have separate water fountains for colored folk? That's very interesting, Taylor. I thought you were a Pfizer girl. I thought you were a Kamala warrior, dude. A 1950s inspired wedding? That's fucking crazy. What are we doing out here, dude? So, anyway, guest list and festivities anticipated to be a large celebrity event. Oh my god, I wish I could go. Potentially featuring live music from friends like Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran's gonna be at the wedding? Maybe he's gonna perform that one song about the thing about the wedding, and then they go, I don't even know how it goes, but it goes something like this. You're my love, and we're getting married, and I wouldn't want to be with anybody else. So that's fun. Philanthropy. Oh, of course, because we gotta add philanthropy. Rumors suggest the couple may request donations to charity in lieu of gifts. In lieu of gifts, really? You're gonna request donations as if your fucking economic impacting world tour was not enough. You're gonna ask for gifts for charity? Taylor, what are you doing, you twat, you? Anyway, royal connection. Some fans jokingly point to, or media reports highlight, a distinct historical kinship between Swift and King Louis IV. Now, how did you draw that conclusion? Let's go. How in tarnation was this connection drawn? Give it to me, AI. This is the point of AI right here. The connection between Taylor Swift and King Louis let me try and be smart for a second. The 9th, the 49th. Okay, I'm not going to try and be smart. 5? No, I don't know. 10? Wait. No, I have to do it. I don't know. Moving on. Was officially drawn by genealogists at MyHeritage in May 2024. Well, that's good that all of our DNA at MyHeritage is going into them figuring out how Taylor Swift is connected to King Louis. So that's fun. Researchers discovered that Swift is the 8th cousin, 11 times removed of the French monarch. 11 times removed. Okay, so then, I don't know. With that logic, I guess I could be connected to, I don't know, Jesus, if we're being silly about it. So anyway, common ancestors. Both descend from, I don't care. The Swift line, I don't care. The royal line, I don't care. Media reports and genealogists often highlight the specific pairing because of their shared reputations for that's a word. Theatricality. Never heard that before. Theatricality in music. Okay, so because I podcast, I guess I'm connected with Leonardo da Vinci because I guess if we're both calling ourselves artists, I guess I'm connected with Leonardo da Vinci, guys. Breaking news. I am a fucking autistic genius. Louis the Blank built the... Okay, we know it's a 10, all right? We know 5. So Louis the 14th, that's my final answer. Louis the 14th built the Palace Versailles to host spectacular events. Okay, so because Louis the I feel like I feel like I'm selling my soul even talking about this right now. But we're gonna just finish it because okay, I'm losing brain cells. Because Louis the 14th threw parties, spectacular parties, albeit, and Taylor Swift is a party girl. There's a connection there. I think that's the conclusion they're drawing. But they're 11 times removed. I don't know what that means, and I don't care to know what that means because we're moving on to the next topic because I regret talking about that at all. So, anyway, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that I'm not gonna have a podcast I think the 3rd week of June. Because I'm going to be at Taylor Swift's wedding recording Ed Sheeran from the back because I'm not allowed to sit at the front after what happened between me and Taylor. I don't really like to talk about it, but I think back in, what was it, 2013, I went to a football game and I was just there minding my own business. And Taylor Swift came up to me and she was like,
Can you sign my tits?
and I went, Taylor, what? Why are you here? You're Taylor Swift, right? I'm 13 years old, Taylor. Why are you coming up to me and asking me to sign your tits? And after I asked her that, she goes,
I was watching you from the skybox and wanted to come down because I'm starting to have a thing for young guys like you.
and I went, Taylor, my dad's right here. And I don't think that he would be okay with me dating somebody who's in their late 20s or however old you are. And I'm also 13 years old. And also, I don't really find you attractive, to be honest with you. And it was amazing because she wouldn't stop bothering me. She just kept going,
but I'm Taylor Swift. Remember that one song where I was like, she wears short skirts, I wear tampons.
and I went, Taylor, yes, I know the song you're talking about, and also I don't think that's how the lyrics go. And then she went,
I know how the lyrics went. I made at least 70% of them, and Ed Sheeran did the other 30.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to everybody. It is what it is. So anyway, I told her, I was like, Taylor, you need to go away. I can't be seen in public with you. Because I'm not into you, Taylor. I don't like you. You don't have a good, I don't like your energy right now. I don't want to talk about your physical body, but there's also some things there where I'm not the biggest fan of. And then anyway. So that's why when I'm going to the wedding in a few months from now, I'm going to be sitting in the back because she still, it was crazy, dude, because like, so most people got an invitation through the mail, but I got an invitation through a teddy bear, like a Build-A-Bear. You know how when you go to Build-A-Bear and you like can record your voice? So I guess she didn't want me to like, I guess she didn't want the invitation to be public because she was afraid that I would show it to people. And then people would go, oh, that's that guy at the wedding. That's the guy that Taylor Swift tried to rape at that football game. And so anyway, I'm just at my house. I hear a knock on the door, and then it was like, which was the knock, but I couldn't hear the voice, but I knew that was a song, and I go, oh fuck, Taylor Swift again. God damn it, this is like the 14th time that she showed up. Anyway, so I go to the door, I open the door, I grab the Build-A-Bear, I lifted up the Build-A-Bear, and I squeezed the Build-A-Bear, and then it goes, sorry, I'm laughing because it's kind of a traumatic thing for me to remember because I was young when all this happened and she tried to rape me. Yeah, and I'm afraid to say that she tried to rape me because we live in a world now where people will fucking believe that because people are fucking stupid. So she didn't try to rape me. She didn't. This never happened. I'm joking. It's satire. Learn it. Anyway, so I pick up the Build-A-Bear, and I squeeze the Build-A-Bear, and then it goes,
hey, this is Taylor Swift. I'm just formally inviting you to my wedding because I've always had a crush on you. But just so you know, you cannot sit at the front. You have to sit in the far back because people can't know that you and I are connected in any way, but I still want you there. But just remember to wear a mask.
And so oh my god. I think my throat was just possessed by Taylor Swift. Sorry. Oh my god. I think I just fucking puked up a purity ring. So anyway, I pick up the invitation and I go, Taylor, like, I'm thinking to myself, like, Taylor, I can't go to this wedding. And so time goes by, and then about 2 weeks ago, I was sitting by myself, and I'm thinking to myself, like, it's nighttime and I'm in my room and I'm trying to fall asleep, and I make the decision in my brain, like, I can't go to the wedding, like I can't be caught with Taylor Swift again. This is bad. So anyway, I'm falling asleep. And then out of fucking nowhere, a fucking ghost walks through the wall, and it's Taylor Swift, and her body's glowing, her eyes are black, her hair is floating all crazy like how it would be if she was completely underwater. And she goes,
why aren't you going to go to my wedding?
And I'm like, Taylor, again? It's 3 a.m. Leave me alone. I'm not going to your fucking wedding. And she goes,
okay, but if you go, I'll pay you 10 million Trump crypto coins.
And I go, Taylor, those crypto coins are worth like 20 cents now. And she goes,
oh, really? They were like $70 a week ago.
And I was like, yeah, but it's a fucking pump and dump, Taylor. What are you doing here? I have work in the morning. And she goes,
fine, I'll pay you $10 million in real dollars if you go to my wedding. But just so you don't forget, just make sure you sit in the back and wear a hoodie so that people don't know it's you.
And then she turned around, and before she walked through the wall, she like a little bit of like, I guess like a cloud of glitter came out of her fucking asshole and just went through the wall, and it just. Long story short, A, my room has smelled like Victoria's Secret for the past couple weeks, and B, I'm gonna be at the wedding, so that's why I'm not gonna have a podcast episode coming out on in the middle of June. So that's what's happening. But yeah, I don't recommend it. I mean, I feel bad for Travis Kelce, to be honest with you. I mean, I tried dating Taylor Swift like after she came up to me at that football game when I was younger. You know, we went on a few dates. You know, my dad was like, "You can take them on a date, but like you can't. It has to be in public. There can't be any touching." And then she goes,
Okay, fine.
But we went on a couple dates, and she took me to get ice cream, then pizza, and then it, you know, of course, one thing led to another, and she tried to take me up to her penthouse in fucking Palestine, and then I was like, I can't do this. You know, I'm pro-Palestinian, and I can't. First of all, I'm 13. Taylor, I'm not gonna have anal sex with you right now. And B, I'm pro-Palestinian, and I feel like it would be a disgrace to their whole country if you and I had sex right now in your penthouse in Palestine right now. And then she goes, oh well, why don't we, you know, why don't we do it in Saudi Arabia? And I'm like, just Taylor, it's not working out. And so anyway, she clicked some fucking weird button. I fell like 90 stories, and I went in some fucking underground tube, and it was clear, and I was like going through the earth as I was being shipped back to the United States. And as I was like passing through the tube underground, I'm like 90% sure that like I spotted this house underground, and I'm like 99% sure that I saw Michael Jackson and Jeffrey Epstein smoking a joint on a front lawn on some lawn chairs as I was on my way back. And then as I passed the house even further, I'm pretty sure I saw Bill Cosby flipping me off and saying, "You better get out of here." And anyway, so after that, I thought I'd never see her again. But I mean, I guess after this whole fucking wedding thing, she really wants me involved in her life. And so, you know, I guess. But anyway, I don't know how it's gonna last for Travis Kelce. I mean, she's a goblin of a woman. So anyway, I don't mean to upset the Taylor Army. I mean, everything I've said is 100% definitely true. There's no satirical nature to anything I'm saying. There's no comedy to anything I'm saying. Taylor Swift, I want the Swifties to know that with 100% confidence, Taylor Swift kidnapped me, took me to Palestine, tried to get me to fuck her in the butt, pressed a button when I didn't want to, sent me to the bottom of this tower, and I went to a clear tube under the earth, of which when I was under there, I saw a house with Jeffrey Epstein and Michael fucking Jackson smoking a joint. So, definitely not satire, definitely being honest, Swifties. So before you come at me and say, you know, how could he say these things? How could he say these crazy things about Taylor Swift? She would never do that. Yeah, you're right. She probably wouldn't, you know? But also, outside is free. If you put down your phone and walk outside your house, no one's going to stop you. You can walk out there. And the crazy thing is, too, that more likely than not, wherever you live, I don't care if you're in the desert or not, there is a tree around, and you are more than welcome to touch one of the leaves and go, wow, what an intricate thing this leaf is. So, anyway. With that being said, what are the lessons to take away from this entire podcast? If someone has shit on their shirt, maybe you tell them, maybe you don't. If you're in Rhode Island and you see a guy with a mysterious white robe on, he's probably in the KKK. You know, black people are really good at running, and we might be headed or slash, no pun intended, running towards a place where we might have to have separate race groups for running because they're so great at what they do. And also, Israel, Palestine, ceasefire. I don't know if that's possible. We always used to say growing up, peace in the Middle East, man, peace in the Middle East, and you'd say that because it'd be like saying, "Oh man, when the fucking pigs fly, dude." And in the Swifty wedding, in my long story with Taylor Swift. So that's the podcast. That's this episode. And this is what the podcast is, man. I come at you with the hard hitting news. CNN can suck a cock. Fox News can suck a cock. They can all suck a big old donkey conk. Donkey Kong. See how I almost said Donkey Kong because I'm being silly, but I didn't mean to. I meant to say Donkey Cock, but I said Donkey Kong because the brain went Donkey Kong. So we're going to go Donkey Kong because the brain decided to just take over and go, well, we're going to say whatever the fuck we want to say. And that's what happened. And that's the podcast. This has been the Clorox Show. Like, subscribe, fucking, hit that notification bell. Use my promo code below to get 15% off of the Go Fuck Yourself pill. I'm just kidding. I love y'all. If you're sticking around to the end of this podcast and you're still listening and you're riding with me, God bless you, brother. I love you. You're my fucking brother in Christ. And you might think this guy's kind of crazy. And I would likely kind of agree with you a little bit. But I keep it on straight, man. I keep the head on straight. I keep the mask on when it's got to be on. And, God bless, Godspeed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.